Hello guys, welcome back to the crew Wildrun. Driving all cars part number 33. The Chevrolet Silverado 1500. The full stock we are watching here, we are not in headquarters because it has a couple of specs, so not gonna waste too much time in headquarters and immediately going to drive this thing. This comes with, what is it called? A club cap, I think. You can sort of have a single cap, club cap and double cap, and then a normal bed and a long bed size or something like that it is called. I'm not familiar with all those terms. Interior look, it is night, so I don't know if we can see the dial and numbers in daylight. With the tunnel patch thing. It's night now, so the dashboard lighting is on, and it looks kinda pretty neat. Pretty up to date, although it is, well, I'm not 100% sure what year the car is from, but of course we are dealing with a pickup here, and that means it has weight. Weight is, well, every car has weight, but I mean pretty heavy weight. That's usually not a good thing for handling or speed wise or acceleration wise even, but we will see, because some of those cars are programmed that way that they are pretty good, so who knows, might surprise us, never know. I am, let's see, checking, have we tested something in that area. I don't know. We haven't tested the Raptor yet, so that's kind of comparable. It's also a pickup. The Dodge Ram, well, it is a pretty... It's 2010 version, by the way, this Silverado, and the Dodge Ram is 2004, which is way smaller than the newer Ram. But I guess they are all sort of... Well, it's not really competition, is it? I'm thinking of the name of the Chevrolet, the big pickup. But it's not this one. Or is it? I don't know. Anyway, this thing has, as I mentioned, that's why we are not in headquarters looking around and how the car looks and stuff like that, because we have a few test specs to test here. All 5 normal ones: street, dirt, performance, rate and circuit, and one of the extreme ones being the monster spec. Oh, that's quite some acceleration tests to do and handling tests, and see how it does. I've done about 15 kilometers in this full stock Silverado, so I can't tell much about it. Moving towards the street spec. About 30 plus street specs in the game, so I have to look for a second here. Here it is. It sort of has a covered bed on the behind. It's also club cap, I think. Yeah. There's not a door handle, so it's not a double cap, it's a club cap, or king cap it's called in some brands. Other than that, I kept it a bit of a different hood compared to the full stock, and also a different front and rear as well, I think. That's usually how I do it. I change the bumpers a bit, but other than that, official colors, official rims, as always on most of my cars. So, street spec, what are we dealing with here? Fastest time. Yeah, well, we already know now that the Skyline has smoked all of the cars with the 25.7, but most of these cars in street spec have 26 seconds and 27 for the slower ones. It doesn't suffer from wheel spin, that's probably because the weight balance is correct with this thing. Hitting the nitro at a quarter mile or at the first checkpoint, not that really strong, because we have used our bar way before the half mile or the second checkpoint, but we'll see. It feels a bit heavy, what it probably is, but nevertheless we managed to push out a 26.2. Considering the weight, this is a pretty good fast time. 26.2. As a matter of fact, I am checking here to be sure. It is the fastest car that we've tested so far in street spec behind the Skyline. So it's in second position. I have a 26.1 with the BMW 1200 bike, but that's a bike, not a car. So a car what's coming in the area, and a Abarth, which is like, you can put 2 Abarths in this thing, size wise. Yep, Camaro 69 did a 26.3. Yeah. Acceleration it has. That's definitely a plus for street spec. We'll see for the other specs. Dirt spec seem to suffer a bit from the wheel spin. Top speed wise, I don't know. Also not going that fast up, I must say, compared to others. But I don't know, we'll see at the end, I guess. 28.4. We are dealing with a dirt spec here. I'm looking at the numbers, 26, 27, I don't see a 28. Which means that this car is the slowest in dirt spec from the ones that we have tested so far in acceleration. Okay, kind of a bit of a mix-up. Silverado being one of the fastest in street spec, and in dirt spec it is the slowest that we have tested so far. I've tested about, what is it, 10-12 cars in dirt, and it is the slowest. Moving towards performance, times here 22.8 for the Aston Vanquish, a lot of 23 and a lot of 24 cars, and slowest being the Eldorado with 25.2. I've tested about 30 of these performance specs, so which means there are about 40 or something to come. We'll see. 24.004. Okay, that is well, best I can make of it is average. It's somewhere in the middle of the pack and probably a bit below average, because I have quite some cars doing 23 seconds something. 24.0, it's just, well, just not 23 seconds, is it? So no, dirt slowest, performance average, street one of the fastest. Okay, the rate spec. Times here 30 seconds, quite some cars, tested about 12 of them as well. The slowest, the buggy with a 31 second time. The fastest so far, 29.92, so a high 29 for the Camaro 1969. Mustang was kind of slow here, so because this is rate spec. Why do I mention the Mustang? Because the Mustang and the Silverado are considered two of the best rate specs. But the Mustang was kind of slow here with a time of 30.6, so which was sort of in the middle of the pack. But it makes it up in handling and top speed. This one is not slow though. 29.988. Second time from the cars that we have tested here so far. So it has a second time in street and it has a second time in rate at this moment. But I maybe haven't mentioned it in this video yet, or probably did in the previous one. This is part number 33. There are 83 parts to come. There are 83 full stock cars in this game, so we have 50 cars to come. But nevertheless, this is going to be one of the better or faster rate specs, and street specs apparently as well. We also have a circuit spec, which is kind of a long bet apparently, single cap version of the Silverado. The fastest time here 22.8 I see from the 370Z, 22.8 from the Z4, slowest is 24 seconds something. Okay, 7 gears, speed seems to be okay. It looked fast, at least it was the feeling, but oh boy, it is pretty fast. 22.3. That is 3/10 slower than a BMW 1000 bike, but other than that it is kinda smoking the cars that we have tested here so far. The Z4 and the 370Z, that is 22.8, this one 22.3. It's half a second faster. Okay, so I think we can already say that it is a plus Hello. Okay, nice bike. It is a plus, the acceleration. It's the second best that we've tested so far in street, in what was it, in rate, and it is the fastest car we have tested so far in circuit spec. So acceleration is a plus overall, I guess. Who are you? Do I know you? No idea who he is. It's one of those four in the chat box. Hawk something? Okay. Hello, Mr. Hawk. I do not know you, but I am fast traveling here in the street spec to do the handling tests. We know this has a good acceleration. We've seen, we have tested it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where are we going? The weight is a bit of a problem for the handling, it seems. But we'll see in the corners, because we know this. Oh, there he is again. Bike is following me. Video bumper. Kinda strange. It seems coming out of the corner, which it kinda dives into pretty decent. But coming out, it seems like you lack a bit of acceleration, so you automatically are going towards the nitro button, but that's kinda strange, seeing it is the second fastest in the 1 mile track. So is this one of those cars again, where you have to keep it in a straight line? Probably. It's pretty long in size and pretty heavy, so might be a problem corners, although it has a fast acceleration in a straight line. But yeah, it is a bit heavy to take the corners. Have to go up throttle to make them. Also here little brake taps, otherwise we would end up on the rocks there or something. Kinda lost some speed, so wall riding is also not an option. I might test that if I remember it. I'm not sure if I tested it or not. This recorded as always. It's recorded in game with Shadowplay, and then I record it again with OBS while doing the comment afterwards. That's how I do things. That brings down the size of the files with about well, to about 25%. To give you an idea, the Silverado video which is running now is like 10 or 13 gigabytes in-game footage, and with OBS that comes down to 2 or 3 gigabytes. So for uploading times and also sizes, it's better to do it like this. So I saw the double record videos lately, especially these. If the videos are shorter, then I just upload the Shadowplay footage sometimes. But videos like this, I don't know how long it's going to be, but some of them are close to an hour. If they have like full specs, I have to test all the different specs. Yeah, it's going to take ages to upload. So I'm recording them again with OBS to put the files sizes a bit down. Acceleration, it has this thing, top speed. I did notice that was not that superbly high, and the handling is a bit tricky. It suffers from the weight. So the weight is a minus, it lacks a bit, top speed is a minus. It has the acceleration, and the response is kinda okay. Those are acceleration and the response are kinda plus side for this car. And this guy in the bike is still trying to get on the video, I guess. Where is it? Yeah, mentioned this before. I have all my cars at 1299. I haven't downgraded a couple of them to 1294 or 1297 or something, so that you can do it like that, and then you have the favorites on top of the list every time. It might help you in PvP to find a car quicker in your list, but that's not the case here. I have all my cars at 1299, so I have to go through all the lists, and in performance that means over 70. A bit more side wings and stuff like that. I made it a bit more sportive look. It is the performance spec after all. And also put a wing behind the cabin there. Also here response kinda okay. You are dealing with the weight of course, but acceleration was only average, but it keeps going. And now I do not want to get a draft from that guy. I hope he stays behind. Yeah. Oh, he's on a bike. He probably has a hard time here on this track since it has lots of sharp corners, but we'll see. Maybe if he puts some effort in it, he can follow me. He has a yak. I do not know what it is. On a BMW bike, I guess. But on corners like this, I can sort of slide through. And he has to brake because otherwise he will hit the barrier. That's I already covered the BMW bike in one of the beginning videos of this series. You can find my findings about that one there. Wall ride, not really. It is slowing down instead of gaining speed, so it's not really a wall riding car. So they probably patched that one because I have seen footage from other people on YouTube with this car. I don't know if it was the performance or the circuit spec, but you could just go from one wall to another, somewhere on a track in the south, which for a summit event I think. .370, 380 jumps because of the weight, not a problem. You're immediately down to the ground, so that's not a problem. Speed wise, it's a bit of a problem. 380 something. Performance spec should go around 400 and preferably a bit over. It's also a bit oversteering. The handling suffers from the weight. So it's kind of coming back from with the street spec. Has a good acceleration, has a decent response, but the weight is a bit of a problem and it lacks top speed as well. Compared to the competition that is, as I always compare them, keeping in mind time attacks, speed traps, summit events in general, or story missions or whatever. Something where the time matters. Yeah, I know you are there, but you were behind with your bike. So, no. Suffers a bit from weight and that is no good for the handling. Street, not really. Performance, not really. Moving to the circuit spec. Again here, the list is a bit shorter than performance, but still all at 1299 and it's somewhere there. And I think I even missed it. So I have to go back. Oh, there it is. It would help if they would put this list at least in alphabetical order by brand or something. Then you know you have to look somewhere on top for the C for Chevrolet, but no. Somewhere in the middle of the pack. This is, well, it's smaller. It's a single cap. And we know it's one of the fast accelerating things because it was the fastest car that we have tested so far. And only a bit slower than the BMW bike. My video bomber is also behind me. And I think I kinda outbrake here or something, isn't it? Yeah, kinda lost it there. And hit a barrier. The guy is no longer on a bike, he's in an M4 now. So I decided to switch it up a bit. This thing pretty good diving into the corners, so I thought, okay, let's give him a run for his money. In a Silverado circuit spec for all sakes. Pickup transformed into a circuit spec. That's already a bad idea to start with, but meanwhile we are diving into a corner. He hit a car. Hello, moving over. Is he really trying to, what's he doing here? Can't take a corner. I pretty much dived into it, and I think it would be probably the last we see from him. I don't know, was he slowing down or is it just a matter of driving skills, but kind of surprisingly that I take off with a Silverado compared to an M4, but all in all, for the road cars, street performance circuit, this probably is the best. Well, this is the best because it doesn't suffer that much from the handling issue. And let's see how it does in top speed wise. There he is again. $405 something. Likes a bit of top speed again, I guess, compared to the better ones. Yeah, I don't know. It is the best of the three specs, and surprisingly it's not even that bad. Or at least to my surprise. And we know it has fast acceleration. Top speed it lacks a bit. That's where you're probably gonna lose it against the better circuit specs. But for a circuit spec I would say, with the fast acceleration, with the decent handling for this one, it's probably above average. I don't know how many circuit specs there are exactly, but yeah, it probably will be somewhere on the better half of the circuit specs. Not in the top, maybe top 10, but not definitely not top 5. But it's pretty decent compared it, especially if you compare it to the street in the performance. Moving to the dirt spec, well, we already know that was the slowest that we have tested here so far on the 1 mile drag in this series, and although there are still about 10-12 tested, so there are about 10 or so to come. Will it matter in the handling? Yeah, probably. I mean, it's the slowest. Compared to the better specs, it loses 2 seconds on a mile straight. So, we'll see. This one does suffer a bit from the wheel spin. I don't know, maybe the spare wheel is too much weight. Maybe I have to remove that if you can. I don't know if you can. Sometimes you have to deal with what you get. This is a dirt spec, so we're doing this track twice. But this time with the dirt spec we keep on the dirt road. Later on with the off-road or raid spec we go off-road. It's as simple as that. From one checkpoint to another as fast as possible with the raid spec. And with the dirt spec we keep it on the dirt road, as you're supposed to do. Well, I know that there are shortcuts and all that, but we're not time attacking, so no need for that. We want to see how it handles on the dirt. The first part, not a bit of a problem, only that it also here seems to lack a bit of top speed. 260 to we're doing 280 a bit earlier, but 290, 300 has been seen on this part with other cars, so we probably have to hit the nitro several times to reach 300. Yeah, not gonna make it of its own. So you need to help out with NOS and nitro, which is not always available if you have to use that a lot. So a bit slow, that's point 1. Acceleration, we already know it's slow. Corner wise, almost came to 70 kilometers an hour, so now we need to gain back speed. Problem number 2, the acceleration. Top speed not that good, acceleration not that good, and handling a bit suffering from the weight again, just like with the other specs, although circuit spec was kinda okay. No. it's not what it's supposed to be, and this is one of those dirt specs. It has a dirt spec in game, and well, let's keep it at that. Might be good to hang out in the woods or in the mountains. I don't know, but I don't see it happening if you think about Roughs and BMWs and Subarus going around this track. They are going to be somewhere in the distance, my idea. And that is the distance in front of you and not the distance behind you. So, another record breaker. I will finish this run, of course, like I always do. But I already know we are somewhere half track now. You can forget about this one in dirt. It's too slow, it's lacking acceleration, it's lacking top speed. And it's suffering from the weight. So I would say the best use for the road, let's call it that, is the circuit. And the best use for off-road, well, since it's not dirt, it's going to be the rate anyway. But we'll talk about that in a second. But it will be the rate anyway, because the rate is, together with the Mustang, considered to be one of the better, if not one of the best. Again, matter of opinions, and some find this one good, someone find another good, and that's how it goes. But in dirt, I think most people will agree that this one is not that good. Which is kind of strange. That it was the same situation with the Mustang. It's kind of strange that they are amongst the top in rate, and then they are not that good in dirt. Of course, they sort of have a different look and a different body kit, and they are smaller in rate. Also here, this one, I'm not 100% sure, is club cap, I think. And also with the rate, that is not really the case. The rate is sort of a single cap, and then some coupe or coupe looking body kit on it. That makes it smaller, that makes it shorter, probably also a shorter wheelbase, which always is better for handling than a longer wheelbase, and yeah. This one we are doing 519 or something. Was sliding about in some of the sharper corners, and we have times around 5 minutes and even under 5 minutes on this track, so nope, forget about the dirt. Pretty simple. Forget about the street, forget about the performance. They are average or below average. It's the same goes for this one. So circuit is above average. It's not top of the bill, but it's above average for sure. Which will probably bring us to the best spec overall from the one that it has. Thinking does it have an extreme one? Yeah, the Monster, but even that also suffers from the weight a bit. So this is a single cap pickup, I believe. Acceleration, it also there. It definitely had on the long straight, mild drag there. Seen it was the fastest car we've tested so far in rate, I believe. Or was that the no, it was second behind the Camaro 1969, but pretty close though. And I don't know overall, but that's probably what you're dealing with. Camaro 1969 and the Ford Mustang 2011. Together with this one will probably be the well, for some people it will be the top 3 in rate. And in which order? Well, personal preferences and all that, I'll leave it in the middle, but this one has a bit of better acceleration. The Mustang doesn't have that good acceleration, so it kinda loses it there. The Mustang has a pretty good top speed. This one has a decent one, but the Mustang is just a bit faster. Although, if you're going to get in a crew, they're not that far behind or between each other. With a crew with slipstream, they sort of get the same speeds, so they are pretty close. This is a bit heavier, which makes it a bit easier to do jumps and stuff like that. The Mustang is a bit smaller, which gives you a bit of advantage in sharper corners. Like this one where I completely missed it. I have to turn around for the checkpoint, so which means I'm losing time here. So can't really compare with the Mustang, which did a 501 here. This will probably be... Since I had to turn around there, lost quite some time. So probably, I don't know, 5:15 or maybe even higher. So time-wise, don't look at its time attack. Just look at the stability and all that, and that is pretty good. It also flies about here in these hills and jump combinations, but that's what the same with most of the specs here. It's kind of heavy or off-road terrain, so you're always going to get some slides or lifts up or whatever. But just like the Mustang, it'll take that and it does lift up the front wheels and the back wheels, and it goes sideways, and but you land it and it keeps going, and that's probably what makes them the better race specs. The fact that they always, no matter what obstacles they encounter, they always keep going. While with other race specs, you're gonna flip over, you're gonna activate the crash cam, and you name it. You're not often going to encounter that with this one. Nor with the Mustang, nor with with the Camaro sometimes. You can activate depending certain situations. Like this, it puts it back on the wheel and it keeps going. You can have a problem with the Camaro there. It might do a rollover or even activate the crash cam. Not with this one, not with the Mustang. They keep going. That's probably why they are the top two, and the Camaro in third or something. But it also depends on the track. Sometimes the Mini, seen it has a pretty high speed. Also crew-wise, in a crew it has a pretty high speed. Ford Focus can also do over 300 in rate spec in a crew. But those are a bit easier to flip over, and that's why they are not really the top 3. But you can, some tracks you better use them because they are gonna smoke some of these cars. But overall, that's what we all have to look for. And then we are dealing with the Mustang, this Silverado, and probably also at least to some the Camaro 1969. But if you're gonna ask to the forums, the best rate spec, you will very often see the Mustang appear. But it is a matter of opinion. Some find the Silverado better as well. I find the Mustang has a bit of tricky handling, so I don't know. Although I use it sometimes, the Mustang, but mostly in rate, although I don't do that much rate, but I usually go for this one. Can't say it's my favorite or anything, but probably the most used. Maybe I should look at the numbers and kilometers that I've done with these cars. Which one I use the most, but this one 440 kilometers, which is not, well, that much, but I don't know what I've done with the Mustang or the Camaro or so. I don't do that much rate, especially not in freeride or anything, so mostly I use these cars in speed traps or time attacks or brand time attacks where we have to use them, and then I often go for this one. If it's a rate attack, I probably go for this one. But sometimes it's brand and then you have to use one of the others. So yeah, it's one of the better rate specs in this game. Which leaves us with one being the monster spec. It doesn't have a drag or a drift, of course, being a pickup, it's not really advisable. But it does have a monster spec, and that is also, well, yeah, a pretty long one. I mean, a monster truck is a monster truck. You have 4 big wheels, and that's the main thing what kind of counts. But yeah, it is a bit longer. It seems to be a long bed version of the Silverado here, and if you put it next to the Raptor, for instance, which is quite a bit shorter, and that means more weight probably. I don't know the numbers exactly, but which makes it a bit tricky sometimes. It does not have a problem in general with landings. You put it on the 4 wheels and it keeps on going. Probably also here weight matters, but then in a positive way. But seeing it is a bit long and also heavy, yeah, you could have a bit of problems with certain combos. 360s, pretty much of a car that you have to turn around there, and not really perfect landings, because you always slide a bit away. Okay. Should be able to do a backflip with this thing. Let's go. What can we do? Yeah. Backflip followed by a 180. Of course, if you don't hit things. Landings, high landings, not a problem. 4 wheels, bam, and you're off again. 160. I could do a double Misty here, but not really with this car. Couldn't really make the second spin, and that's where the length kind of comes in. So you need more speed or more air time to get it all a bit together compared to other cars. Yeah, well, we are in the Mountain States arena here. Most guys use a BART in this arena because of its small size, of course. But you can also use the Skyline here. The other cars in Monster Spec are a bit trickier to make the 5,000 points jump in this arena. It can be easily kind of be done with the Skyline. It is possible, but it can easily be done with the BART. That's why most people use it here. This one, I don't know. It has power, it has acceleration, that's for sure. Also has speed, not that bad. But it is a bit long. It really is a bit long, and that's probably giving you a bit more weight, which can be used. I've mentioned this in previous videos. It can be used in Monster Spec, all of the cars, and as well as drift cars. But this one, I don't know. Maybe it might be good for something like a raceline skill. Straight line, it probably has speed, so that's not a problem. Combinations, flips, things like that, a bit more tricky because of its length. Length in combination with the weight. But it can be used. Not that, but it's not like there are better ones, let's put it that way. So Monster Spec not really an option. Street definitely not. Performance, no, leave it be. The circuit can be used, and the race spec is one of the best in the game. I will see you guys in the next one, and bye for now.